Where's my D20?
Gobbo!
Worth it.
Hello and welcome to Hobb's Horror Stories. I am Hob, your hobgoblin narrator, back this week in my full hobgoblin form. This week I have a interesting story for you that may lead to some debates, and we will be discussing it during the video a little bit. Today's video is on whether AI belongs in D&D. This story comes from r/rpg horror stories and was written by Red Hot Owl. The title of today's story is Player Goes on a Wild Rant Cause We Wouldn't Use AI in Our Game. Okay, before I start, I just want to preface that if you use or support AI art generation, I don't care. You do you. I'm not here to give a lecture about the ethics of it or anything like that. We, as in myself and my friend who is the DM of the campaign we are running, personally don't. Right, so for the past month or so we've been running a Witcher-themed campaign. It's been a pretty fun time. The races that are already part of the setting fit surprisingly well with the standard D&D rules. The whole idea is sort of a low-stakes side plot that is happening in parallel with the events of The Witcher 3. Although featuring more mundane characters. To give you an idea, we have an alcoholic dwarf farmer who fights alongside his pet goat. Anyway, one player who I guess I'll call AI Bro has been with us for a while. Until recently, he seemed pretty laid back and just an overall average dude. Our time zones rarely matched up, so he mostly only hopped on for the game itself, and was usually the first to log off, which meant we didn't really get to know him all that well. No big deal. Of course, everyone's got their own lives, and we're all adults. But that did mean that when what happened, it completely caught us off guard. When it comes to the visuals like locations, creatures, references, and so on, my friend the GM mostly used screenshots from the game itself he takes and edits together. AI Bro didn't seem to have a problem with this, but during yesterday's session he suggested that it could be cooler if we just use AI art, and he can make some for us. My friend said that there was no need, but the gesture was appreciated. Then AI Bro asked why, and my friend explained that he wasn't really into the AI-generated stuff. When I say AI Bro completely lost it over that, I mean it. Dude went off on the most random, insecure rant you've ever heard, talking over everyone who, like us, just wanted to go back to playing the game that was going fine until then. He was saying things like, his art is just as valid.
No, it's not.
And it's time people start acknowledging that or whatever.
Nope, no, not in a million years. As a programmer myself with a sister that's an artist, no. Typing words into a program that creates pictures using stolen artwork as training samples and creates something that's as good looking as paper is thick is not art. There's no skill, there's no soul, it's not art. Simple as.
Even though no one was saying otherwise. I could almost see him frothing at the mouth as he went on and on.
Cope, seethe, mauled.
Pretty much arguing with himself for a solid 20 minutes. He probably would have kept going if the DM hadn't kicked him off the call. We let AI Bro join back a few minutes later after he had supposedly calmed down, but even though he was less mad, he still kept bitching and throwing in snide comments. Another player, who is actually a physical artist, foolishly tried to explain why some people have issues with AI art.
Oh no, you poor sweet innocent soul. You can't have a conversation with tech bros like him. You'd have better luck talking to a brick wall, I hate to say it.
This kicked off another rant from AI Bro about how being an artist isn't a real job anyway.
I don't even know how to respond to that. Has he been living under a rock? Websites, book covers, game art, literally any assets in any game ever? Did he even look at the D&D handbook? Did he not realize that people paid artists to make those? I mean, with an intelligence score like that, no wonder he's all for AI.
And that she shouldn't be mad at tech since it can do what she does, but better.
I can't even bring myself to laugh at this guy. It's just sad.
Which, I mean, she wasn't. Again, we were all cool with agreeing to disagree, but at the end of the day, it's our game and we decide what goes in it. Eventually, the DM did end up booting him due to him refusing to drop it. Yeah, I don't know, probably one of the most random blowouts over nothing I've ever witnessed. Okay, so let's talk about this. First of all, AI Bro is completely in the wrong for exploding the way he did. That's not how you get anywhere. I learned not to throw temper tantrums as a child. If you want to discuss things, you can talk about it as a rational adult. With the whole problem with AI art that I see personally, and other people may have different opinions, and that's fine. You can all go crazy in the comments and talk about it as much as you like. My feelings on AI art is that it is okay if the art that they are using as a base, they received permission from the artist to use it. Whether you are using AI voices, or you're using artists' characters, or landscapes, or whatever you're choosing to use in your AI art as the basis of building it, seek permission first. Just stealing people's entire artwork and their entire life's work, because yes, art in many forms is a lot of work. Doing everything with art can be a lot of work. Even someone just doodling for fun on the side, they could have been drawing that picture for over an hour, 2 hours, a week, a month, you never know. And to just throw all that away and be like, well, your picture was on the internet once, so I'm just going to use AI art to steal every part of it and then add a dragon in the background because, well, f*** you. AI can be very useful. It can be used in businesses that are assessing their revenue, in smart cars, in smart phones, and smart homes, or on social media when you're trying to assess what people are viewing your content. I mean, hell, they even used it in Spotify this year with their Spotify Wrapped. I mean, personally, a lot of people were unhappy and they didn't like it all that much with the way the AI worked for it, but they still were able to use it. There are a ton of different uses for it, and some can be extremely helpful. My opinion and my view on it is that AI should not be art theft. It should be required to get permission first. With art, or with people's voices and their likenesses. When there are no limiters to AI stealing, it will gobble up more media than an iPad kid. AI is something that personally I don't like. I prefer not to use it, or using small tools and avoiding using AI-generated art that is going to steal works from others. But everyone is different. You're free to do whatever you want. Everyone has the choice to do things whichever way they want to. Altogether, the one thing, though, that I know for certain is that we're not escaping from AI no matter what we do. This is part of the future, and we're just sadly stuck with that. Well, Gabo, if you have anything you want to say, you can chime in now. I know you probably have a lot that's on your mind with this.
Yeah, I do. Give me the mic. It's my turn. It's stupid. So I've already expressed my thoughts pretty clearly in the video itself, so I'll try not to repeat any of those points in here, but I still have a lot of thoughts. Now, I could go on for hours about my hatred of AI content, but I'll try and keep it brief and relevant to the story, as much as it can be. AI art is as surface level as you can get. If you want to use it for your own D&D game for a visual example of a landscape or character that you can't find a proper picture for, and that you don't have the skill to draw yourself, fine. Like, I get that. I still don't like it, but I get why someone would use that. I myself have a much easier time following along and picturing myself or my character in a setting if there are visual examples of it. But the more you use AI art, the more the cracks start to show and the less immersive it becomes. Eventually, all you start to see is the flaws in the image, and you lose all that immersion that you would have had previously. But for short uses, again, I get it. It's a non-commercial use that's meant to be a jumping off point for theater of the mind. Sometimes there isn't anything that fits what you need, and commissioning an artist for art of something is pretty overkill if only 5 or 6 people are going to see it maybe once or twice, ever. But would it be better in the long run to either find a way to get the art you need from other sources or to learn how to draw yourself? Yes, and I'd highly recommend doing that. You might even find it fun enough to make it a hobby. That's how I got into drawing. But for a private game among friends, I guess it can be acceptable. Ugh, I think I threw up in my mouth saying that. And for AI in other areas, I can only speak with experience on one area, and the nuance of the others aren't really known to me, but my general opinion is that it has no place in the creative industry. Music? No. Art? No. Voice acting? No, and I hope Activision burns because of it. Video production? No. Writing? Only for spell check and grammar. And programming? Oh, programming from experience? Hell no. I've worked before with someone who used it in our projects, and his code never worked, and he never knew why. All of his code pretty clearly showed little to no understanding, or even an attempt to understand the rest of the project's code, and in some cases didn't even make sense. He never learned anything despite my multiple attempts to teach him, and I'm honestly not sure he even knows how to code. I eventually stopped trying to bug fix his stuff and just reverted any changes he made, and then took him off the coding team. AI has no place in coding, even for bug fixing, because if you can't fix your own code, then you never learn how to avoid the problem in the first place. TLDR is that I hate AI, but only on the creative side of the industry. And things like accounting, it's fine because it's being properly applied. Algorithms work with calculations. But in the creative industry, no. It steals from others' talents and livelihoods, and then stops you from learning any meaningful skills because you're using it to skip that process. Just pick up the damn pencil and you'll be better off.
Alright, well with that, let's wrap up today's video.
I hope you enjoyed today's story. If you have any stories you would like to have read here on the channel, please share them to the email in the description below. Also, if you could please like, comment, and subscribe, it would help us greatly to slay the monster known as the algorithm. Also, if you're looking for more great horror stories like these, please click the link at the end of this video. Thank you from all of us here at Goblins and Gremlins.